The delay in the first Columbia class suggests that it will be delivered about 12 to 16 months after its originally planned date. What are you all doing to extend the useful life of the Ohio class submarines so that we can, take care of any delay in Columbia production?
Thanks, Senator Kane. The Navy has a plan to do maintenance on existing Ohio-class submarines to extend their service life, and there's high confidence in the ability to extend their service life so that we can manage the risk of sustaining the capability we have to bridge to the Columbia class and the new capability. And there's sufficient margin there to address that with the maintenance plans that the Navy has.
And if they do that successfully, is it fair to say that Stratcom's capabilities will not be jeopardized so long as that Ohio class extension is done well?
Yes, Senator.
Thank you for that. General Whiting, we're very proud in Virginia of Wallops. Wallops is NASA's only owned and operated launch range, and it's a national asset that supports both governmental operations across multiple governmental agencies, but also commercial spaceflight. I think Wallops will continue to play a key role in enabling national security missions at its launch range. How do you view Wallops as an asset for SpaceCom operations?
Yes. Senator, I think you well noted there the importance of Wallops. I think it's been an amazing story over the last decade as the United States military at our ranges in Cape Canaveral, at Vandenberg, has upped the launch tempo with the commercial industry as they've ramped up. I think as that continues to go up, we're going to have to look at other launch locations to help absorb some of that capacity. And I think Wallops, having matured the way it has, could be a potential to do that. But from a Space Command perspective, we think that the capabilities of Wallops Island, Senator, and the resilience that it provides into the broader launch enterprise are very important.
Last time I checked, I think there had been more rockets launched from Wallops than either Vandenberg or Canaveral, but not with the attention necessarily because they're unmanned rockets and they tend to be smaller. But the ability to hit orbits, off the East Coast as compared to where the other ranges are very important. The other thing about Wallops that's interesting, it is a launch range that's used both for governmental and for commercial launches. What commercial space capabilities should we be leveraging more effectively? And how do you think about the importance of collaboration with commercial space industry?
Senator, I think the U.S. commercial space industry is one of the United States' most significant advantages, not just for Space Command or the Space Force, but for our nation writ large. It is driving innovation. It is expanding economic opportunities. And so from a United States Space Command perspective, we want to make sure that we are leveraging that innovation, leveraging the cost curves that are delivering capability faster and cheaper, and then work with the services, the Space Force in particular, to be able to bring that capability into operation. So we think it's a massive advantage for us, and then we have a role, Senator, in helping to defend those commercial companies who the U.S. government most contracts with for space services, and we do that at a cell that we have in Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, where we share information, threat information, up to the top secret level with those companies so they understand the domain that they are operating in and the threats that they're facing, and then they can share with us back the insights they're gaining from their operations as well.
Great. I think I'll ask a question for the record to pick up on a comment that the chairman made about the space debris problem. It's one thing if there's debris because of, target shots on defunct satellites in orbit, continually when there's not a lot of satellites in orbit. But both governmental and private companies around the world are putting more and more satellites in orbit for security reasons, for communications reasons. And so the value of what's up in orbit right now makes this debris problem much, much worse in terms of trying to get a handle on it. I know there's space treaties dealing with it, and I know we generally have pretty good protocols about trying to minimize debris or avoid it. But this is going to be a larger and larger problem as more and more satellites get put up into orbit. And so it's something that we have to get a handle on, and I'm glad that the chairman raised it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Can you tell us approximately how many satellites are in space right now, all told?
Total number of trackable objects just went over 50,000. And just to give you a context on that, when Space Command was stood back up 6.5 years ago, from that time to today, that number's gone up almost 90%. It's almost doubled in 6.5 years.
And headed much higher.
Absolutely. We've seen recent reports from commercial space companies that not only do they want to continue to build out these proliferated low Earth orbit communications constellations, but now go into space for data centers and artificial intelligence purposes. That's a very exciting future that's coming.
Thank you very much. Senator Ernst.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, gentlemen, very much for being in front of us today, and to your teams as well and their service to our great United States of America. Admiral Carell, I'll start with you, and we're just going to keep hammering on this, but right now the United States is undertaking a once-in-a-generation effort to modernize all three legs of the nuclear triad. We all know it's incredibly essential to credible deterrence, but it is, of course, increasingly defined by the cost growth, the schedule delays, and, of course, something we're well aware of here, budgetary pressures. So we have the president that says he wants to spend another $500 billion in defense. We have heard that we are going to get another request for $200 billion, perhaps in the form of a supplemental. The department has to demonstrate that it can deliver these capabilities on time and on budget without crowding out our other critical priorities. So if you can tie it up neatly with a bow on it for the committee today, which programs are experiencing the most significant cost growth and schedule delays, and what specifically is driving those cost overruns?
Senator, I don't want to duck the question, but the direct report portfolio managers are the subject matter experts with respect to real-time reporting on costs and schedule with those programs. I would tell you that in my interactions with the direct report portfolio managers and their leadership, so this is Vice Admiral Goucher and General